Welcome back, everyone. Why did Hamas attack Israel, again, on October 7th? The obvious general answer is that Hamas is an Iranian proxy, and they, as well as numerous other offshoots of Islamic terrorists in the region, are dedicated to the destruction of Israel. While many Westerners, whose idiocy I've exposed and ridiculed many times, make this situation conform to an ideology created in their own image and likeness, the reality is that Hamas is primarily motivated by militant Islamist ideology. Here's some donkey leader from Hamas. Now, I can't let this go without recognizing what appears to be the world's largest prayer callus, which comes from banging his empty head against the prayer rug to make a mark so that everyone else can see how much he prays and how virtuous he is. Take it away, Mufti.
You know, you see some people and they've got like a whole, like a camouflage. They've got like a whole, I don't know, like a SWAT team operation going on their forehead, and you're like, what the hell has happened to your forehead? Did you not even sandpaper? Did you get one of those grinding machines and just right? So now people get these kind of burn marks because when they do sajda, they will, like, let's say they'll, instead of doing, they'll go like they'll start over here and then they'll start like rubbing across, burning their forehead.
Anyway, let's get to what this donkey actually has to say.
إسرائيل دولة لا مقام لها على أرضنا. إحنا الدولة لابد أن نزيلها لأنه بالفعل هي تعتبر كارثة أمنية وعسكرية وسياسية للأمة العربية والإسلامية. يجب أن تنتهي. إنه إسرائيل لازم نأدبها وحنأدبها مرة ثانية وثالثة، ومش هذا حتكون طوفان الأقصى أول مرة، لا حتكون ثانية وثالثة ورابعة لأنه إحنا لدينا إصرار ولدينا قرار ولدينا إمكانيات.
Fundamentally, the existence of Israel is the problem and the solution is destruction. This is simple enough for anyone to understand. But can we narrow down the reason for October 7th more precisely? Some political and military analysts, like John Spencer, have pointed to a plausible explanation. Normalization of relations between Israel and some of its neighbors began with the Abraham Accords. That was in 2020. 1 month before the October 7th attack, numerous reports were emerging that Saudi Arabia had begun to engage in talks with Israel as well. This would obviously be a major step forward for the Accords, but it's a major step backwards for Iran, which hates both countries and wages proxy wars against them. Of course, now it's not just proxies, since an emboldened Iran also attacked Israel directly in the least successful and most embarrassing airstrike in history. All praise to Allah. So it's a straightforward, plausible theory. Iran saw the possible normalization between the Saudis and Israelis and responded with the only thing they know: Islamic terrorism. But now it's no longer theory. I've been keeping up fairly well with what these Hamas and Iranian donkeys have been saying, and to my knowledge, this is the first time a Hamas representative has directly linked October 7th to the normalization of relations with Israel.
إذا رجع فينا الزمن إلى 7 تشرين
نرجع بنعيدها مرة تانية.
ترجع بتعيدوها. هذا كان السؤال.
أنا عارف هذا السؤال لأنه هذا السؤال مركزي. لأنه ليش الجواب إنه بنرجع بنعيدها؟ لأنه اللي خلانا نعملها إشي مهم جدا واستراتيجي لا يمكن السكوت عليه. حكيناه كتير. كانت القضية الفلسطينية عم تتصفى على وقع مشروع أمريكي في المنطقة. الاحتلال في له دمج بالمحيط في ظل تطبيع على حساب الحق الفلسطيني.
So the occupation was being assimilated into the region by means of normalization of relations at the expense of Palestinian rights, he says. Now, regarding Palestinian rights, we've seen from how Hamas has run the place that the flourishing of Palestinians is their top concern. Or perhaps it's their right to be political pawns that he's talking about. Or maybe it's that they have the right to live in poverty while Hamas leaders are worth billions. Perhaps it's the Palestinians' rights to have munitions stored in their hospitals and terror tunnels under their schools. That's what he's talking about. Or maybe it's their right to be human shields. Or maybe talking about Palestinian rights is one of many examples of throwing out the fodder to keep stupid Westerners allied with their cause. But regardless, there it is, thinly veiled in humanitarian concerns. The attack on October 7th was primarily an act of aggression prompted by talks of normalizing relations. In other words, Iran's response to peace talks was terrorism. But that's not all. The swine has more to say, and I'll read it instead of showing you the video, in case looking at that guy makes you as mad as it makes me. Israel saw the resistance in Gaza, and according to our information, they planned to launch a preemptive strike against it so that it would not interfere with these plans of theirs. So that's it, just those two phrases, according to our information and these plans of theirs. I just have to remark on the irony of some idiot from Hamas whose charter is a compendium of every stupid Jewish conspiracy theory on earth at the time of writing, telling anyone what their information is about the plans of the Israelis. Why doubt their information? Well, just to start, according to their information, found in the Quran and Muslim commentators, some Jews were literally turned into apes and pigs. And yes, in case you're wondering, they had tails. There's even a debate in Muslim scholarship about whether or not these humans turned animals could actually reproduce. Yep, that's actually a thing. This particular commentator says they can't. So the Jews you see today aren't literally descendants of apes and pigs, according to him. What a relief. But not everyone agrees with that scholarly opinion. In addition, in the Hadith, Muhammad thought several other animals were transformed Jews: lizards, mice, rats, snakes, who knows? And many imams proclaim this today. Whether they mean it literally or metaphorically, it makes little difference in what it says about the Islam-inspired dehumanizing hatred. So whether it's the Islamic sources themselves, where it all starts, the steady stream of lies from Hamas, their stupid conspiracy theories enshrined in their charter, or any host of a number of other reasons, skepticism is warranted when they say, according to our information. So Hamas would do October 7th again and again. They're dedicated to the destruction of an entire country, and October 7th was the right time in light of what was happening with the Abraham Accords. The fact that it was a Jewish holiday, well, that's an added bonus. But many of you might have noticed something else about this interview. The laugh.
نرجع بنعيدها مرة تانية.
ترجع بتعيدوها ترجع بتعيدوها ترجع بتعيدوها ترجع بتعيدوها.
You probably know some details about what happened on October 7th, those savage acts of brutality that seem beyond imagination, exploring new depths of human depravity. But not only did Islamic terrorists plan these things and do them, they filmed much of it, so they could show their fellow Gazans who showed up in impressive numbers to welcome them and their hostages back home. Words cannot express the degree of sickness in such a pathetic excuse for a human being who speaks of October 7th with laughter. Just a couple seconds of this Hamas donkey talking are so informative, that's why I wanted to share them with you. In such a short time, all the stupid Western narratives of Hamas apologists are shown to be just that, and shown to be so by a spokesman who laughs, muzzle agape, at the rape and murder of innocent people and hopes to do it all again. I think we've uncovered a third reason Hamas attacked Israel. Remember, the first one was more generally they don't want Israel to exist. Simple enough. Second, they want to stop the Abraham Accords from progressing. And third, they laugh at and celebrate rape and murder. In other words, these people are some of the sickest human beings on earth and have completely given themselves over to be used as instruments of evil. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.